Hey folks, welcome back to Fossil Linux Journal. Michael here. The expectations on a Linux PC are gigantic. Everything should work together perfectly, whether for business or home use. The Tuxedo models have a lot to offer. Tuxedo gave me the Aura 15 Gen 2 model for free to test. What I noticed, what strengths and weaknesses such a device has, and whether you might consider it for your next purchase, all of that is now in the video. Stay tuned. A little note in advance. Tuxedo Computers provided me the device free of charge for a test period. My test and my verdict fully follow my impressions and my opinion. It's not bound by any specifications or the like. Nevertheless, the video is marked as advertising for legal protection. This is just a small note on transparency. Whether you like the design is of course a matter of taste. In my eyes, it's a functional design. The connections are easy accessible and the cooling system seems to have been sufficient considered. Anyone who now thinks that this design piece is a massive beast is mistaken. In relation to the size of the device, what kind of display it offers, in correlation with the weight, I was amazed how light the laptop actually is. Compared to other laptops in this performance class, the Tuxedo Aura 15 Gen 2 can be described as quite good. The Tuxedo laptop comes with a 15.6-inch display. In my opinion, we also have a qualitatively sufficient display here. The resolution is Full HD. The maximum brightness is 300 nits. The color space coverage is 95% of sRGB color space. The higher you set the brightness, the more it affects the battery consumption. I had a hard time with the 1 megapixel webcam for a long time. With regards to the camera, I was even in contact with Tuxedo because I suspected that there was a problem in this test unit. The camera has a strong red cast in both artificial and natural light. That's what I thought at first when I was recording with the Camoso app. However, looking at the material, it turned out that this is not the case. The quality is just about sufficient for video calls, but you should use a different camera for high quality content. The loudspeakers sound very tiny and are in the lower range in terms of quality. As already mentioned, with the camera it's enough for video calls, but I don't want to put music through these speakers. But listen for yourself.
Hey guys, I wish you a happy new year 2023. My name is Michael, and in this video we are going to take a look at what's in the pipeline for us in 2023. What distros are expected, etc. So, let's get started. Canonical will again...
The camera and the microphone at 25% are okay for video calls. My recording was made on the laptop with Audacity. No filters, no nothing. This is the voice of the microphone at 25%. If you turn it down from 100 to 25, the voice is much better. Overall, the camera is okay for video calls. The microphone should at least be able to record a reasonably clear sound. So overall, it's fine for business. And if that's not enough for you, you'll probably have to use an external camera and external speakers. The keyboard is located above the big and large touchpad. It's a matter of taste, of course. I personally like it. You have a pleasant type feel, a direct keystroke, and I also find the typing noise to be completely fine. Then let's take a look at the connections. On one side is a USB-C 3.2 Gen 2 port, which also offers DisplayPort 1.4 and power delivery, a USB-A 3.2 Gen 1 and an HDMI 1.4 port. The fourth of the group is the power connection. On the other hand, we have a Kensington lock, RJ45 network connection, two USB-A 2.0, a SIM card slot, a micro SD card reader and a 3.5mm audio jack. Now let's talk about performance and battery life. Before we look at the Geekbench results, here are the technical data of the device again. I did 2 Geekbench runs, one with the AC adapter connected and one in battery operation, so you can expect more or less practical scenarios. In main operation, the device achieved a single-core score of 1501 and a multi-core score of 6119. On battery power, the single-core score was 1422 and the multi-core score was 4379. On the one hand, we can see that the difference in performance is already measurable, and on the other hand, that Tuxedo's energy optimizations are working well. According to Tuxedo, the battery built into the case should power the device for maximum 7 hours in office use. Of course, this depends on the hardware configuration on the one hand, but also on your usage on the other hand side. I had a maximum of 4 till 6 hours, but that's subjective and not representative. The Tuxedo laptop couldn't keep up with my MacBook Air with Apple M1 chip, but these expectations would have been unrealistic. So a few hours of battery operation are fine. I would also like to address the topic fans and heat generation. In short, the fan was rarely heard in everyday use. They rarely rev up when there is a certain load. And then the fan is even quieter than on my HP EliteBook laptop. But at full load, you can of course hear the fan, as you could tease out very well in the provocated Geekbench test, for example. I haven't had any negative experiences with the heat development on the device. It will be moderately warm but not hot. Whether you're sitting in the garden with short pants in the summer and then place the device on your thighs. Like it or not, everyone has to decide for themselves. But my device didn't get uncomfortable hot. From my old 15-inch MacBook Pro with Intel CPU, I still know completely different cases of hardship. You could feel like you could fry a fried egg on the device when it was running at full steam. A 1GB Ethernet port, a Wi-Fi 6 wireless interface and a Bluetooth 5.1 are used for the connectivity. The good news is that the basic configuration starts at €679. You got an AMD Ryzen 3 processor with 8GB memory and 215GB SSD storage. That's enough for simple office stuff. The maximum equipment configured by me is at an upper price limit of €1,458. The Tuxedo OS 1 is pre-installed as the operating system. This is an Ubuntu fork, strictly speaking a Kubuntu fork, because Tuxedo OS is based on Ubuntu LTS and comes with a slightly modified KDE Plasma interface. At the lower price point, this is an absolutely acceptable package. At the upper price limit, I would probably start with a higher quality Tuxedo laptop and, if necessary, add few euros if a desired configuration should become necessary. In general, I have little complaints about the device. The quality of the camera, the microphone and speakers are absolutely bottom edge, but that's for sure. But in the office, it doesn't have to be a broken leg. I know Lenovo ThinkPad devices where the quality of the speaker hardly makes any difference. If you choose the device, I would plan to invest in a good external webcam as well as speakers or headphones. Otherwise, I wouldn't be happy here. The following points struck me during my long test period and I want to share it with you. When the device is in idle mode and then eventually goes into sleep mode, the fan speeds up for a short moment. Due to the low device weight, the device cannot be opened without lifting it. So its own weight doesn't keep it on the desk. Just for your information, my test device had the following specifications: 15.6-inch screen, AMD Ryzen 5 with 6 cores and 12 threads, 16GB of memory, 500GB NVMe hard drive, and a AMD Radeon RX Vega graphics card. All in all, a solid office device, a quite worthy challenger for industry leaders like Lenovo ThinkPad. It's a solid device with solid hardware and a solid operating system that's ready to go right out of the box with Linux. That's my personal experience and opinion. But what does it look like for you, especially if you are running Linux on a laptop? Could this Tuxedo device be something for you, or maybe another series from Tuxedo? I'm already excited for your feedback in the comments. I thank you for the kind attention. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay tuned for more videos from me about Linux and open source, then now is a good time to subscribe to the channel for free. Feel free to leave a like and activate the bell. Until the next video, ladies and gentlemen, peace.